Unexplained infertility is a really interesting subject because it's often not kind of written about or spoken about, and often people struggle to know what to do or get advice if they've been diagnosed with unexplained infertility. If you can't be diagnosed with it, it's just a lack of diagnosis, really, it's just unknown. And it's more common than people think. It's very difficult to put a number on it because it depends on how people diagnose and definitions of unexplained. By last time I looked at some of the stats from the HFEA, which is the UK's kind of governing body looking after fertility treatments and clinics here in the UK, it's about 30%. And what's interesting, it was in the increase over a period of about kind of 10 years, gone from 18% to 30%. So it's on the increase. It's more common than people think, but it's often really not kind of spoken about. It can be really challenging. A lot of my clients have unexplained infertility. I had kind of unexplained infertility. And it's kind of, if you've got a diagnosis, whether it's fertility or any kind of medical condition, you know what to focus on. You either have a treatment plan or you have some things you can do to improve the situation. If you don't know where to tap, you just don't know what to do. And that can leave people feeling quite stressed or worried about whether they are going to make a difference, whether they can make a difference. And it can lead to trying everything just in case the next thing is the thing that makes a difference, or in case if the one thing they don't do is the one thing that makes a difference. It can lead to overwhelm and being quite obsessive about trying everything to try and improve the situation. And it can lead to a feeling of just not being in control. And some of my clients like to feel in control of life, where in other areas of their life, whether it's their career or other areas, they've had a goal or something, ambition, something they want to achieve, and they knew how to get to it, what they need to do to make it happen, and they worked hard enough and they knuckled down and kind of made it happen. But that kind of approach does not work when it comes to fertility. Quite the opposite. That approach can be stress-inducing, kind of fear of not making it happen. That kind of striving to achieve something can be underpinned by a little fear of it not happening. So unexplained fertility can be really, really difficult because you just don't know where to tap or where to start, and it can lead to fear and overwhelm. So it's tough and often not spoken about too much, and that's what I want to change and help people understand unexplained fertility and what they can do to make a difference in it. Why is it on the increase? I think for me, we haven't seen some major advances in kind of the technology and the medical world around IVF over the last few years, but we have seen an increase in, I'd say it's quite a significant increase in the number of or percentage of unexplained fertility cases. And I'd say it's because our lifestyle, I think, is getting more stressful. I'd say it is the mind and the body. I truly believe that too many people go through treatment unnecessarily because the mind and body are not factored in. And my wife and I are exactly on that conveyor belt. And, thankfully, got pregnant naturally against all odds just before starting ICSI. I truly believe too many couples go on that conveyor belt and have treatments unnecessarily because the mind and the body and the emotions are not factored in. I think the success rate of treatments is unnecessarily low, again, because the mind and emotions are not factored in. So I think the unexplained fertility category or diagnosis is on the increase, I think, because we're living in a more stressful environment. I think, even financially, it used to be that a couple could live on one salary, a family could live on one salary, buy a house with one salary. Nowadays, you need two. It's just going to put some more financial pressure and stress on people. And I just think we live in a faster-paced, kind of instant gratification, more insecure in so many ways. I think it's perpetuated by the media and culture and politics. And I think people just are slightly more stressed. They might not kind of be diagnosed with stress or anxiety, but I think there's more dis-ease in society as a whole and in people as a whole. Dis-ease. They're striving to get to where they think they need to be to have ease, whether it's more financial security or even having the baby in the family they so desire. So I think that's the reason why we're seeing an increase in unexplained fertility, and it's the same for definitely my situation. It was my dis-ease. I wasn't aware of it at the time. It was only how it came about, it made it really clear that when I did my own kind of little personal development journey, in the middle of our fertility, when we hit rock bottom in our 10-year fertility journey, it just kind of fell into place. I can look back and see it's because I fell into more healthy psychological state, and my body fell into more healthy flow and physical state, and my fertility improved dramatically as a result, even though there was no biological reason why I should have any problems. I think what people can do when they've got a diagnosis of unexplained infertility, is to look at the whole kind of mind-body link and where maybe there is dis-ease within their system psychologically. The mind and body are one system, and there's a growing body of research that shows how stress can impact fertility. It's massive, years, decades of research how our mind affects our body. That's undeniable, in such dramatic ways. Where there's some studies where a group of old men lived in a house that was decorated from 30 years prior for 2 weeks, and they lived in this environment for a couple of weeks, and they started reminiscing about those times, started talking about those times, reading magazines and listening to radio stations from programs from those times, and they just got into reminiscing. And they did a bunch of physical and psychological tests before they went into the house, and they repeated them when they came out, and it was just transformational, the difference. How physically and psychologically the memories are better, physically they're better. Some are hobbled in on sticks and they came out and they're kind of playing touch rugby. They just felt so much younger and physically younger. Even though they hadn't done anything physically, just psychologically they were just reminiscing. And the mind and body are one system. I know Boston IVF had done some studies with Harvard University, and they had a bunch of people going through IVF as a control group, and a bunch of people going through IVF also went through a mind-body program. And the success rates of the IVF treatment of those who went through the mind-body program alongside IVF was double the kind of control group who just did IVF. And I'm seeing that with my clients. This is why I do what I do. I'm seeing success rates of my clients where they're getting success with a naturally or with treatment in unexpected ways, because they're finding a more kind of natural, healthier mindset. They're letting go of any kind of dis-ease. What I mean by dis-ease is sense that they know they're okay. Whatever happens, they're going to be okay. That they're worthy, they deserve. There's all sorts of unlimiting beliefs that we can be living life through quite subtly, but can have a profound effect on our biology. And it doesn't take much to knock out such a delicate reproduction system, delicate balance of hormones required at different stages of the process. And a lot of people are looking at their minds, and there's different layers where you can do this. One is maybe positive thinking, positive affirmations, and I've spoken a lot, about to my community and my list, and done videos about how my thoughts around positive thinking, how it generally just doesn't work. You're trying to persuade yourself of something deep down you don't truly believe, and that can actually reinforce the part of you doesn't really believe it. It says, yeah, well, not really. And inadvertently you can be reinforcing the part of you doesn't kind of truly believe it. Visualizations are quite common. I'm a big fan of visualizations. But again, if there's an undercurrent of fear of not getting pregnant, fear of not being good enough, that's going to undermine the success of kind of visualizations. What can make visualizations even more powerful, I believe, is hypnosis. I would say that because I'm a hypnotherapist. But if you wrap around the kind of hypnotic language around visualizations, it can be even more effective because your unconscious mind does control all your bodily functions, and you can guide it to do what you want it to do. I think ultimately, the bottom layer, what undermines any approach to improving our fertility can be this fear. The fear of it never happening, the fear of never having a baby, the fear of never being pregnant, that kind of future thinking fear. And it's often grounded in some kind of insecurity of I'm not good enough, I don't deserve, I'm not loved or lovable, and we're striving for external things almost just to prove that we're okay, or to prove our sense of security or worthiness. So it's different kind of levels of kind of, I guess, psychological work we can do. And the deeper we go, I think the more effective we can be to find that state of flow. And the more we find a more psychological flow, the more our body's just going to flow more naturally. So I truly believe, and I see that with my clients, that's what my own journey. We've seen infertility from every single angle. But I can see that from my own journey, my clients, the more they find that sense of I'm okay, knowing their true worth, their true value, their true sense of self on this journey, then things just seem to fall in place so much more quicker and easier. Whether that is naturally or even with treatment, it just falls into place so much easier. What I recommend people do is to get really honest about their own kind of emotional well-being. I know on our own journey, I had to get really honest. I had to come to a place of real acceptance that I wasn't truly happy in life. We got to a point where we thought this is never going to happen 8 years into our journey. And I had to accept that I wasn't happy. I was living a pleasurable life. I had all the things I thought would make me happy. Career, very good career prospects, house, wife, car, friends. It's just we seem to have everything I thought we needed to be happy. But I had to come to really honest with myself that I wasn't content. And all my life I've been striving for the next thing that I thought would make me content. The next piece to the jigsaw to paint this picture of the life I thought I needed to create for me to be content and to have a sense of purpose in life, or living that fulfilled life that I craved. And having a baby actually was the next piece of the jigsaw, I think the ultimate piece of the jigsaw. So I had to really kind of get honest with myself and recognise where I was, that I wasn't kind of truly content. And that was the energy I was giving off in life. And the more we give off, we get back discontent, unhappiness. And when I get honest, I realised actually it wasn't really about having a baby. How a lot of my life I've been living this undercurrent of discontent. That I wasn't worthy, wasn't okay, wasn't happy. I had to get really honest with myself and accept, even though I had a lovely wife and we were very happy and there was so much good in my life, I had to accept that I wasn't happy. And it's about recognising that, outside in things don't make us stressed or happy. A lot of people think, oh, I'm anxious or stressed because I'm in a very stressful job. They think about giving up their work to focus on their fertility, to de-stress their life. And I think it can be a very double-edged sword, because you're resting more into the process, your life begins to shrink, and it's not always the right thing to do or the good thing to do. But ultimately, it's because the job doesn't make us stressed. Nothing makes us stressed. So it's an inside job. It's an inside job. Everything we experience is an inside job. I had to realise actually it's my thinking about myself that was stopping me feel secure, happy, safe, content and fulfilled, all the things I kind of craved. So my recommendation is that people get really honest and say, well, is there something? How content, fulfilled do people feel in this moment? What's stopping them feel content in this moment? And it can't be something about the future. It can't be something external, because those things don't make us feel anything. And what I recommend is people say this phrase out loud, but listen to their internal response. And the phrase is, I accept myself as I am today. I accept myself as I am today. And just listen. What's your internal response or thoughts or feelings to that? Do you believe it? Is it a part of saying, no, not really? No. Yeah, what's the internal response? Sometimes that can point towards the fact that actually you're not accepting of yourself. There is a little part of you maybe judges or criticises or is harsh about yourself and doesn't truly love and accept who you are in this moment. And if you're not sure, get in contact. I had a client, Sarah, she just contacted me out of the blue before she became a client and said, look, unexplained infertility, I'm not sure, my mind is, I'm a pretty positive person, but there may be something I don't know. Can we have a conversation to see if there is something? I said, absolutely. And within about 20, 25 minutes of this conversation, she was in tears because we'd just pinpointed a limiting belief she had about herself. She wasn't aware that it was there, but when it came to light, when she shone a lot of light on it, it made so much sense to her. Why she was not struggling, but holding herself back in other areas of her life. But I can absolutely see how it was playing out in her fertility and it could be impacting her fertility journey. So if you think there's kind of limiting belief or some dis-ease within you, get in contact. If you're not sure, get in contact. I'm very happy to help you, just if I can help you identify if there is something. And again, it's like a mini diagnosis. We talk about unexplained fertility, but all the diagnosis is all medical. It's looking at your body. Your mind and body are one system. What I recommend is be open to and looking for maybe a diagnosis of a psychological thing you can be aware of and work on that can be unlocking the physical. So that's really my recommendation. So if you think I can help, yeah, very happy with getting in contact and have a conversation to see if we can help you unlock what may be holding you back, or create an action plan to help you move forward from that and really, yeah, create more of the life you want and create the baby you want, and let go of this kind of stigma around kind of unexplained fertility. Because I truly believe, yeah, as I said, too many couples go through treatment unnecessarily. And if you want help to fast track your journey to success, just reach out. Happy to help.